What if you could build a clean, modern, one-page website in just minutes without touching a single line of code? While Gamma is best known for its AI-powered presentation tools, it can do so much more. And in this video, you're going to see how Gamma's website builder lets you create a fully customized one-page site using nothing but a prompt. We'll walk through everything from generating the layout, previewing it on desktop and mobile, customizing the design, and publishing it on your own domain. And real quick, before we get started, if you get any value out of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Helps me bring you more resources, and it keeps you up to date with all the AI, web, and tech trends happening throughout the year. But either way, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let's get started. So getting started with Gamma is super easy and free. Simply visit gamma.app, and I've linked to it in the video description below, and clicking that link will take you to the Gamma homepage. Then to get started, click the Start for Free button. And then it's pretty straightforward. You can create a free account by entering an email address or continue with a Google account. And that's what I'm going to do. But either way, once you sign up and go through the onboarding process, which isn't shown here, but it usually consists of a few questions, you'll have access to your free Gamma account and dashboard, which is what you're looking at right now. And I've already used Gamma to create some presentations, so my dashboard may look a little different than yours if you're brand new, but let's move on and create a web page with Gamma AI. Now it's time for the fun stuff. I say this during every Gamma tutorial, but this is truly an amazing tool that streamlines so many workflows and makes creating presentations and websites a cinch. So let's get to it. Okay, from your Gamma dashboard, towards the top of the screen, click the Create New AI button. And from here, Gamma gives you three different ways to get started. There's paste in text, generate, and import file from URL. For this example, select Generate. This will allow us to generate a web page from a single text prompt. Next, you'll land on a screen where you could start crafting your AI-powered web page. At the top, Gamma asks what kind of content you'd like to create. You'll see four options here. There's presentation, web page, document, and social. Make sure web page is selected. And then right below that, you could choose how many cards you want and the language. And think of cards as sections of your website. As of now, this feature can create a one-page website, so each card will represent a section of the website on that page. Right below that is the input box. This is where you'll type your prompt to guide the AI on what type of website or landing page you want to create. And if you're short on ideas, below that you'll notice a section with example prompts. This is a great place to get inspiration if you're not sure what to create. However, for this tutorial, I'm going to type in my own custom prompt. So in the input box, go ahead and write what you want to create. And for this tutorial, I'm going to create a one-page website promoting a cat cafe. Then once you've entered your prompt, click the blue Generate Outline button. And Gamma gets to work and instantly creates a full structured outline based on your prompt. Keep in mind that this isn't the website yet. This is the outline it will use to generate the full site in just a few seconds. However, taking a closer look at the outline, the prompt was a one-page website promoting a cat cafe, and Gamma delivers a clean 8-part outline. Each card includes a title along with bullet points that highlight the main ideas and areas of focus. You can also easily customize the outline by using several built-in editing tools. First, you could click directly into any card to edit the text, just like editing an email or Google Doc. Simply place your cursor within the text and make your edits. Remember, this is just the outline. You'll be able to make edits within the visual editor to the website once the site has actually been generated, just FYI. Then scrolling down, you'll find the Customize Your Gamma section. This is where you can fine-tune the look and feel of your presentation before moving into the design mode. At the top, you'll see several pre-made themes that control your typography, background color, and overall aesthetic. By default, there will be a few here to choose from, but if you click the View More link, you'll be taken to Gamma's theme library, where you could browse, filter, and preview all of the themes that Gamma has to offer. As you can see, there are a ton to choose from, all pre-made and designed to be ready-made themes for your website. This really cuts down on the design time and gives you a ton of flexibility when it comes to the overall look and feel of your website. And clicking on each theme thumbnail gives you a preview on the right, letting you see how the theme will look once applied to your site. And I think I'm going to go with this one. And then once you've selected a theme, click the Select Theme button to apply it to the outline. Next, we have the content section. Here you can adjust how much text appears on each card. You could choose between brief, medium, or detailed. Brief will keep your slides light and minimal. Medium adds a bit more context without overcrowding the card. And detailed is best for slides and sites that need full explanations or step-by-step breakdowns. For this example, I'm leaving it set to medium, which offers a balanced amount of content for most websites. Below that are the image settings. Under image source, you could choose what kind of visuals Gamma will use throughout your site. You could select from stock photos, web images, AI-generated images, illustrations, or even animated GIFs. This gives you a ton of flexibility depending on the tone or content of your website. I'm leaving it set to AI images, which will have the AI-generated images related to my site's topic. We can always edit the images within the visual editor, which I'll show you in just a bit. Below that is the image style box where you can optionally describe the type of images that you want to see. You can add details like colors, mood, artistic style, etc. Gamma will then use that info to generate images that better match your vision. And finally, there's the AI image model breakdown. This lets you select which AI model Gamma should use for the image generation. By default, it's set to Ideogram 3 Turbo at the moment, but you could switch to other options like Imagen 3, Luma Photon Flash, or more advanced models such as Flux Pro. This is great if you're particular about image style or quality and want to experiment with different outputs. Then if you want more control over your content generation, you could click into Advanced Mode, which is located just below the AI image model dropdown. And this opens up a new screen where you'll see a more detailed interface with advanced settings on the left, your outline in the center, and additional instructions and tips on the right. Then within the settings on the left, you can control how text is generated. You can also adjust how much content appears on each card, specify your audience, and even choose a preferred tone for your website, like professional, conversational, or humorous. There's also an option to set your output language and modify image preferences. And while we won't be diving into these advanced features in this tutorial, it's good to know they're here if you ever want to fine-tune your messaging for a specific audience or use case. Okay, then once you're ready to move forward, click the Continue button in the bottom right. And this takes us to the theme selector once again. And I'm going to stick with the current theme that I initially selected, but whenever you're ready, click the Generate button. And Gamma gets to work generating your website based on all of the inputs and setting configurations. And this usually takes a few seconds to finish, but it's truly amazing. What used to take me literally hours to create takes a few seconds with Gamma. This also introduces you to Gamma's visual editor. Everything you see here is customizable, and this editor gives you complete control over the layout, font, style, design, etc. You can also harness the power of their AI image and content generators. So on that note, let me give you a quick tour of the editor before you start making changes. Before we dive into making edits on this web page, let me give you a quick overview of the editor. However, if you want to skip the tour, feel free to move on to the next section where we start making edits. But if you want a quick tour of the editor, stick around. So once Gamma generates your web page, you'll be taken straight into the web page editor. This is where you can fine-tune the content, adjust visuals, and get your web page ready to share or publish. The interface is clean and intuitive, giving you a visual layout of your site with a preview and a variety of editing tools. Each section is fully customizable, and you can click directly into the text to make changes, swap out images, or add new blocks to better fit your message. The layout adapts automatically as you work, which helps keep everything looking clean and balanced. And you'll see that each card carries over the content structure from your outline, but you have the freedom to tweak it however you'd like. On the left-hand side, there's a vertical panel that displays all of your pages as thumbnails, and this gives you a quick overview of your site's structure and makes it easy to jump between sections. You could also click the plus new button at the top of the panel to manually add a new section anywhere on your web page. To the right, you'll find a vertical widget menu with icons for adding or editing different elements like text, images, layouts, charts, and more. Each icon opens a corresponding editing panel, giving you even more control over how your content looks and functions. It's a great way to enhance your web page with visuals, graphs, or new sections without digging through menus. At the top of the screen is the main toolbar. On the left, you'll see your breadcrumb navigation. And this tells you the title of the project you're working on, helpful for keeping track of multiple projects. Then over on the right, you have options to switch themes, share your site, or publish it. The blue Publish button is what you'll click whenever you're ready to showcase your work to an audience and add a domain. But it's also where you could preview your work before publishing, which I'll show you in just a bit. Next, the Sparkles icon, which opens up Gamma's AI editing tools, allows you to apply AI-powered edits across all of your content at once, whether you want to rewrite sections, adjust tone, or regenerate content based on your outline. Next is the three-dot icon, which expands into a full drop-down menu with additional options. From here, you can undo recent actions, view your version history, export your website, add comments, and more. It's a handy spot for accessing deeper functionality without crowding the main interface. Then the circular avatar with your initials gives you access to your personal account settings, and clicking this opens a small menu where you can update your language preferences, manage your account, and even sign out of Gamma. Lastly, in the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll find a small question mark icon, and clicking this opens a helpful support menu with quick access to Gamma's resources. From here, you can view keyboard shortcuts, check out the Getting Started checklist, see what's new in Gamma, and access the Help Center. You'll also find options to contact support, share feedback, or change your language settings. It's a great spot to bookmark if you ever need a quick answer or want to learn more about the platform's latest features. Okay, now that you know your way around, let me show you how to make edits and customize your web page's theme. Now that your web page's structure is in place, let's walk through how to customize it. As you saw, Gamma offers a wide variety of pre-designed themes, but it also gives you the power to fully personalize the look and feel of your site so it matches your brand or visual style. For starters, if you recall, each card represents a section of your web page. Since this is a one-page site, the sections are stacked on top of one another. This not only helps with design, but it also makes your site easy to navigate and promotes a great user experience. Then, taking a closer look at each section, you can begin making your edits. Each section has its own editing toolbar that you can access by hovering your mouse over the upper left corner there. First, the three-dot icon gives you the ability to either move and rearrange a particular section or open an additional editing menu. If you click and hold the mouse button down, you can drag and drop this section anywhere on the page, allowing you to quickly make some major layout changes if needed. Then clicking the three-dot icon opens a set of additional options for managing that card. From here, the first icon lets you duplicate the card. This is great if you've got a layout or section that you want to reuse elsewhere on your page. Just click it and an exact copy appears below. Next, you've got the option to copy a direct link to the specific card. This is helpful if you want to point someone to a particular section of your site. Maybe you're sharing a draft or collaborating with a team member. The third option is called Copy To, which lets you move or duplicate this card to another project or workspace. And if you're working on multiple sites or templates, this makes it super easy to transfer content without having to start from scratch. Then we have the Export Card option, and clicking this will let you download the card. This is perfect for archiving, sharing offline, or importing into another project. And finally, there's the delete icon. If you want to remove the card entirely, just click the red trash can. And don't worry, Gamma will usually confirm before it's gone for good. Moving on to the card styling menu, and if you click that, it'll open up a full set of visual customization options for the card that you're working on. At the top, you could choose the layout style for your card. These icons let you quickly switch between different structural formats like side-by-side layouts, full-width content, or more compact sections. This gives you flexibility in how your content is displayed on the page. Next, you've got the accent image option, and if you click edit here, you could add or swap out an image that visually anchors the card. This is useful for making certain sections pop or reinforcing the message visually. Then there's the card color. By default, it follows your theme, but you can override it with a different background if you want to highlight a specific section or create visual contrast. You can also toggle on full bleed card, which stretches out the background and content edge to edge. This gives the card a bolder, more immersive look, perfect for things like hero sections or calls to action. Under that, you'll find the content alignment controls, and these let you choose whether your content is aligned to the top, centered, or bottom of the card. It's a small tweak that can make a big difference depending on your layout and spacing needs. You can also adjust the card width, switching between medium and large, depending on how much space you want the content to occupy within your site's layout. And finally, at the bottom, you've got two more quick actions: reset styling, which reverts everything back to the default look, and page setup, which lets you adjust broader layout settings for the full page. Next, let's take a look at one of Gamma's most powerful tools, Edit with AI. You'll find this option next to the card styling icon marked with a little sparkle symbol, and if you click that, it opens up a smart assistant that can help you quickly polish and restructure your content. At the top of the panel, you can either type a custom request into the Ask AI, or choose from a list of preset options. Under the writing section, you've got tools to improve writing for more polished copy. You could fix spelling and grammar, translate your content into different languages, make longer or make shorter, depending on how much detail you want. You could simplify language, which is great for making content easier to understand, or be more specific if your text is too vague. You can also reformat your content by breaking it into bullet points or sections, or generate a smart summary if you want a quick, high-level overview of what your content is about. There's also a section for images. You can ask the AI to make the card more visual and add an image or replace existing images based on the context of your text. And then at the very bottom, there's a Chat with AI button, which lets you have a more open-ended conversation with Gamma's assistant if you need more brainstorming ideas or reworking content more interactively. This feature is a huge time saver and helps you get professional-looking results without having to start from scratch or jump into multiple tools. Okay, now let's go over how to edit the text content inside your cards. Whether it's a headline, a paragraph, or a call to action, making changes here is super intuitive. All you have to do is hover your mouse over a block of text, and you'll see a three-dot icon appear next to it. Clicking this gives you access to a rich text toolbar where you can update the styling and structure of the content. You could change the heading level, tweak the font style, bold or italicize the text, and even add links, inline code, checklists, and bullet points, all from the same floating menu. It's just like using any familiar word processor, but built right into your site builder. Then if you want to go a step further, you could also edit the content with AI. Just like before, click the sparkle icon to open up Gamma's Content Assistant, and from here you've got options to make it more engaging, which will suggest a catchier and more compelling rewrite. You can expand or condense the text depending on whether you need more detail or just want to tighten things up. You could visualize key points or even suggest relevant images based on the content that you're working with. And you can also reformat your content by turning it into a timeline, splitting it into columns, or converting it into a table, all with just one click. There's even a summarize as toggles option that collapses long-form content into neat, expandable sections. It's really a flexible editor that makes updating your site content feel effortless, whether you're polishing a headline or restructuring an entire section. Then, as I mentioned earlier, you can manually edit the content within each card as if you were drafting an email or working on a Google Doc. Simply place your cursor within the text and make your edits. It's that easy. And your edits appear in the visual editor in real time, letting you see how they'll look on the front end of your web page. Now, let's talk about editing and customizing your buttons and call to actions. To get started, just click directly on the button that you want to edit, and this will bring up a simple but powerful toolbar where you can adjust everything from the styling to the link destination. At the top, you'll see a link field where you could paste a URL or search for an existing page or section within your site. You can link to external pages like your booking system or connect it to an internal page like I'm doing here, linking to the Visit Us and Book Your Spot section. Below that, you've got style options where you could toggle between filled and outlined buttons depending on the look that you're going for. Next is the horizontal alignment, which lets you align your button to the left, center, or right side of the card. This is super helpful for balancing your layout visually. And then you've got the color picker, where you could change the button's background color. You could stick with the default theme colors or pick something custom to help the button stand out. Finally, you could edit the button's text directly right here in the visual editor. Just click into the text and type your update. It's that easy. Then once your button is styled and linked the way you want it, you're good to go. Gamma handles the formatting automatically, so your CTAs will look clean and clickable on any device. Okay, next let's go over how to edit your images. So when you click directly on an image within the editor, Gamma brings up an editing toolbar right above it. This gives you quick access to several tools, including the option to adjust the alignment, swap the image out, or even generate a new image with AI. To open the full editor, just click that pencil icon, and this launches the media panel on the right where you can browse AI-generated images, upload your own new image, or fine-tune visuals that are already in place. Now, in this example, Gamma automatically filled in a prompt for the image, and it looks like it's a cozy cat cafe interior with adoptable pets lounging on comfortable furniture, customers enjoying coffee, warm ambient lighting, large windows. That sounds amazing right now, but this prompt was generated by default, and I left it as is for this tutorial, but if you want, you could click into the prompt box to refine or rewrite it, and then hit the generate button to get new results. You also have a few customization options underneath the prompt. The style lets you switch visual themes like linen or modern to match your brand. Aspect ratio helps you control how the image fits into the layout. There's portrait, square, or landscape. And model lets you pick from different AI generators if you want to experiment with the image style. Below that, you could view a gallery of all the AI images that you've generated in your current Gamma project, so you can easily reuse the visuals without having to recreate anything. And then once you've selected your image that you like, it instantly applies it to the site. No need for downloads or uploads, just point, click, and update. You could also access your image library here as well. These are all the images that you've uploaded to Gamma as a whole, so you have access to them if you want to use them on different projects. Next, if you look at the top of the editor, you'll see the nav placeholder. This is where you could choose to add a logo, navigation menu, and buttons. Starting with the logo on the left, to edit it, simply click that logo placeholder, and this opens Gamma's media panel again, where you can upload your own logo or generate one using AI. In this example, I clicked on the placeholder and used Gamma's AI generator. The tool automatically filled in a default prompt for me, which is great. And I didn't change it for this tutorial, but you could easily edit or enhance the prompt to match your brand or style here if you'd like. And then after clicking the generate button, Gamma will produce a set of AI-generated logos that are surprisingly detailed and high quality. You'll see a variety of design styles, so you can fit one that fits your brand best. Just keep in mind, some of the logos might include spelling mistakes, especially in the text elements, so be sure to review each option carefully before adding it to your site. Then once you find a logo that you like, simply click it and Gamma will update your navigation bar with the new image instantly. Alright, let's continue building out our navigation menu by adding links. And to get started with that, just click where it says add a link in the nav bar there, and Gamma will insert a new placeholder labeled click here, as well as open up a small menu where you can configure the link settings. First, click into the link field and either paste a URL or search for a specific card within your site. You'll see a drop down of recent cards, so just scroll through and select the section that you want the link to jump to. In this example, I'm going to link it to the homepage section titled Welcome to Whiskers and Lattes. Next, you can rename the link to something more meaningful. Just click directly into the text and type what you want. And I'm going to change click here to home. Then if you want to add more links, just hit that plus icon next to the existing link, and this lets you keep building out your nav with additional sections like your story, menu, meet the cats, or whatever else your site needs to link to. You could also use the horizontal alignment tools to adjust the layout of your links, left aligned, centered, or right aligned, depending on the look that you're going for. And for the sake of time, I'm going to speed through adding the remaining links, but one thing to keep in mind is that you may have more sections than links allowed in the nav. At the moment, I don't think there's a way to add submenu items or add more than 5 links. In that case, you may want to add a button to the nav. And to do that, simply click where it says Add Button. And just like when we added the links, a placeholder button labeled "Click Here" will appear along with the small editor panel. And from here, you can paste a link or search for a card within your site. And in this case, I'm linking the button to the Contact and Follow Us section. You could also change the style between filled and outline. You can update the button color, and then of course edit the button label just by clicking into the text. And I'm going to go ahead and change this one to Contact Us to make it clear and direct. Then you can add multiple buttons if needed, giving you even more flexibility and ways to drive traffic to wherever you need your visitors to go. Then before we wrap up, let me show you a couple quick editing tips that could save you time while working in Gamma. First, if you hit enter inside of a block of content like a paragraph or heading, Gamma will reveal a row of additional tools right beneath your cursor. From here, you could add a block, insert an image, drop in a table, or even leave a comment if you're collaborating with teammates. It's a really intuitive way to expand and edit content on the fly. And here's another helpful shortcut. If you press the / key anywhere inside the content, this opens up Gamma's quick insert menu, which gives you access to a ton of useful elements. You could upload or link to an image, you could add a new card, split a card into sections, or insert different formatting styles like titles and display text. These quick actions make it super easy to build out your site without needing to hunt through menus. Just type, click, and keep moving. Here's another useful editing tip, and this one's all about adding new sections to your site. If you hover your mouse between any two cards on the page, Gamma will display a small menu with 3 options for inserting a new section. The plus icon on the left lets you add a blank card, giving you full control to build that section from scratch. The sparkle icon in the middle allows you to add a card using AI. This is great if you want Gamma to help create content based on a quick prompt or suggestion. And the arrow on the right opens the template library. This is a huge time saver because it includes pre-designed layouts for all kinds of content. There's image galleries, team photos, 2 or 3 column sections, callouts, headings, and more. And whether you want to keep things simple or go for something a little more styled, this menu makes it super easy to drop in a new section exactly where you need it without interrupting your workflow. Now, for the sake of time, we're going to move on, but just know that you can continue making as many edits as you like using Gamma's incredibly intuitive editor. And whether it's fine-tuning layouts, adjusting text, or swapping out visuals, you have full creative control to polish every section of your site. That said, let's go ahead and preview the website so you can see how everything looks before hitting publish. So to preview your web page before publishing, go to the top right corner of the editor and click that small arrow next to the blue publish button. And then from that drop down, select Preview Current Page. This opens a fully interactive preview environment where you can explore your site just like a visitor would. The preview defaults to the desktop view, letting you scroll through and experience the full layout. And honestly, I gotta say, Gamma's website builder continues to impress me. The way it handles design, layout, and responsiveness without any code is huge. Everything feels so polished and intuitive, from the image rendering to the section spacing and typography. It really feels like you're working with a professional design team behind the scenes. Whether you're building a portfolio, a business page, or something totally creative like this cat cafe site, Gamma makes the process genuinely fun and surprisingly seamless. You could also test your navigation links, like clicking on Cat Lounge, and we can confirm that everything flows smoothly across all the sections. Then at the top center of the preview screen, you'll see your device icons. Clicking the tablet icon lets you view how your site responds to medium-sized screens and devices. And then if we switch to the mobile icon, this lets us check the mobile experience. This is a great way to ensure that your site is responsive and easy to navigate on any device. Now, if you notice anything that needs adjusting, like all of these buttons above the fold, 4 buttons is way too many in my opinion. I definitely want to remove one of these, which can easily be done in the editor. So this is a great reason to always preview your work before publishing. So to get back to the editor, click the arrow in the upper left corner of the preview environment. And then just real quick, to remove a button or any content for that matter, simply click on it to open the pop-up configuration menu and then click the red delete button. And voila, the button has been removed. That's it. All right, now that our site is looking great and ready to go, let's move on and publish the web page and make it live. So there are actually two ways that you could publish your site in Gamma, and we're going to walk through both options in this tutorial. The first is the free route, which gives you a Gamma branded subdomain, perfect for quickly sharing your site or testing things out. The second option is to connect to a custom domain, which gives your site a more professional and personalized web address, but you will need to purchase the domain and upgrade to a pro Gamma account. But let's start with the free option. First, from the editor in the upper right corner, click the arrow on the Publish button. And once again, this opens up a few publishing options. From here, under the Publish Site section, you'll see a subdomain automatically assigned to your project, something like your project name.gamma.site. This is Gamma's free hosting option, and it works great if you just want to share your site quickly without upgrading to a paid plan. So go ahead and click the Publish Site button. And after a few moments, you'll see a green confirmation bar at the top of the screen that says your changes have been published, along with a View Site button. And clicking that button will take you directly to your live website on Gamma's subdomain. And just like that, your website is now live and accessible online completely free. The Gamma platform really makes the publishing process seamless, especially for beginners. Whether you're sharing your work with a client, building a personal site, or launching a small project, this free publishing route gets you up and running fast without sacrificing design quality. However, if you look in the browser, you'll see the free version uses the free Gamma subdomain. This isn't bad, but if you're looking for a more SEO-friendly and professional option, you'll want to publish your site to a custom domain. So back at the editor, in order to connect this site to a custom domain, click the arrow within the Publish button again to open the drop-down menu. And this time select a custom domain. And if you haven't done so already, you'll be prompted to upgrade to the Gamma Pro plan. The custom domain feature is only available to Pro plans, which is only $15 per month when billed annually, and this only comes out to $180 per year. But I can tell you that if you have the budget for it, it is totally worth it. Okay, so once you've upgraded to the Pro plan, select Add Custom Domain from the Publishing menu. And this opens the site settings panel where you have two options. Either get a brand new domain or connect one that you already own. If you don't have a domain yet, just click the Get a New Domain button and Gamma will walk you through that process. But in this case, I already own one, so I'll go ahead and type it in that field provided there. And then click the Add Domain button. From here, you'll be prompted to set up your domain connection. Gamma gives you two methods. There's the automatic setup or manual setup. I'm going to choose automatic setup because honestly, Gamma makes this super easy. No developer needed, no digging through DNS records manually, just click continue. And Gamma uses a service called Entry to handle this configuration, and it's designed to be secure and user-friendly. And after clicking continue, Gamma will begin analyzing your domain. It quickly detects that my DNS provider is GoDaddy, and now it's gathering the setup details to complete the connection. And then once it's done, you'll see the option to authorize with GoDaddy. So go ahead and click that button. Next, you'll be taken to your GoDaddy account where the domain connection process consists of one step, clicking the connect button. So once we do that, it will automatically update the DNS records so that the domain will work with Gamma. It takes a few seconds to go through, and you'll get this notification letting you know that it could take up to 48 hours to propagate. Mine went a lot faster, but you'll see the status here on the right in the site settings, as well as when you visit the domain. If your Gamma site loads on the domain, then it has successfully connected. And speaking of site settings, next, let me show you how to add a favicon and configure the site title. The last thing I want to show you is how to configure your site settings. These seem like small details, but they go a long way in helping your site look professional and credible. So from the editor in the upper right corner, click those three dots. This opens a drop-down menu where if you select Site Settings, you'll be able to do things like publish or unpublish your site, as well as add a favicon and update the site title. Below that is the navigation option. Gamma gives you the choice between a top nav bar, which displays your site's menu across the top, or no nav bar, which removes navigation entirely. For most multi-section sites, the top nav bar is recommended for a smoother user experience. Then toward the bottom, you'll find two optional tracking integrations. If you use Google Tag Manager, you can paste your container ID in that first field. And if you want to track activity with the Meta or Facebook pixel, you can input your pixel ID in the second field. These are great options for marketing and analytics, but totally optional if you're just starting out. Okay, for this tutorial, I'm going to update the Favicon. So in the Favicon section, click the Click to Upload button and find the image that you want to use for your Favicon. Please try to use an image that's at least 128 by 128 pixels. And then once you have your image, feel free to update the site title, nav options, or even add your GTM or metapixel if you have them, and then click the Publish Site button to make your changes live. And after a few moments, you'll get a notification letting you know that your changes have been successfully published, and you can click the Visit Site button to view your live site, or anytime you want to view your site through your editor, just click the arrow within the Publish button again, and from the drop-down menu, you should see your sites listed there. And if you click that little arrow icon next to the domain, that will open a new tab where you could view your newly published site. And if we take a closer look at the browser URL field, you'll see that my site is now using my custom domain. This tells me that the connection and verification have been finalized and the DNS settings are correctly configured. Additionally, if we look at the browser tab, you should see the new Favicon and the site title. All right, that wraps up this walkthrough of Gamma's AI-powered website builder. From generating a beautifully structured site with just a text prompt to customizing it with visuals, sections, and settings, Gamma makes it incredibly easy to bring a professional-looking website to life without writing a single line of code. And whether you're publishing a free domain or connecting it to a custom domain, everything feels intuitive, fast, and built for creators who want flexibility without that steep learning curve. And if you found this tutorial helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any questions or you want to share your own Gamma creations, drop a comment below. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're looking to start a blog, check out these two videos on how to build, grow, and monetize a WordPress blog. They'll walk you through the entire process step by step. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.